Have you ever wondered why some seniors die earlier than others, while others seem to defy the laws of aging? It's not just a matter of luck or good genes. In fact, these factors often depend on habits, choices, and subtle traits that accumulate over time without us noticing. In this article, we won't be talking about rare diseases or sudden accidents. Instead, we'll focus on specific measurable behaviors that have a powerful impact on how long and how well you live. The scary thing is that you may not realize these traits are working against you, but the good news is, once you're aware, you can start making changes, and those changes actually work. After age 70, the gap between living well and just surviving grows wider. But the great thing is it's never too late to change. By simply being aware of these 5 danger signs, you can change your course toward a longer, healthier life. Let's explore these signs, not to scare you, but to help you recognize the real signs in your everyday life. Signs that you can recognize and act on today. The traits we're about to discuss aren't unexpected or uncommon. They're habits, ways of life that many older adults fall into unknowingly, and they can silently shorten their lives. But when you understand them, you'll find that you have more control than you think. Every day is an opportunity to do something different, to extend not only the number of years you live, but also the quality of your life. Let's take a look at these 5 dangerous traits and how you can avoid them to live a fuller life. Characteristic 1. Social isolation. One of the most powerful yet subtle predictors of early death in older adults is a lack of real social connection. When a person spends most of their day alone, without regular conversation or shared laughter, the body begins to perceive that loneliness as a threat. Isolation doesn't just cause sadness. Over time, it triggers physical stress responses in the body. Levels of cortisol, a stress hormone, rise, blood pressure rises. The immune system weakens. Without the support of social relationships, minor health problems, like a common cold, can quickly become life-threatening. Think of someone like Paul, a 79-year-old widower who lives alone. He eats his dinner in silence, doesn't call anyone, doesn't have visitors, and doesn't talk to the clerk at the store. His neighbors call him independent, but behind closed doors, loneliness has become his constant companion. When he catches a cold, he doesn't share it with anyone. By the time someone finds out, it has turned into pneumonia, a life-threatening condition. Older people like Paul often take their isolation lightly. They may think it's just a normal way of life at their age. But inside, loneliness is more than just a state of mind. It becomes a physical burden, a burden on the body. The human nervous system is designed to function in a community. When that connection is taken away, the body begins to decline, quietly, gradually, and dangerously. Social isolation is terrifyingly powerful because it doesn't just affect your mood, it increases your risk of serious health problems. When you have no one to talk to, no one to share your joys or sorrows with, your body senses that emptiness. Your blood pressure fluctuates, your heart rate can become irregular, and your body's ability to fight off illness is reduced. These problems build up over time, leaving your body more vulnerable to threats it might otherwise have been able to overcome. For example, a common cold can be easily treated if someone knows you're feeling unwell and reminds you to see a doctor. But when you're alone, no one recognizes that you need help, and small problems can become catastrophic. The good news is that you don't have to be an extrovert or have tons of friends to combat isolation. Even 1 or 2 meaningful connections can make a big difference. A weekly phone call with your grandchild, a regular coffee with a neighbor, or even a quick chat with an acquaintance. They all count. These moments of connection are more than small talk. They're a way for your body and mind to remind you that you're still a part of the world. They help reduce stress, stabilize blood pressure, and boost your immune system. When you make the effort to stay connected, to listen, and to be heard, you're not just socializing, you're saving your life. It's important to realize that isolation isn't inevitable as you age. Many seniors fall into this trap because they've lost friends or loved ones, or because they feel like they no longer fit in with a rapidly changing world. But your community is there, waiting for you. There are clubs, volunteer groups, or even simple meetups at the grocery store or park. Every small step you take to reconnect with people is a step toward extending your life. You don't have to change the world. Just opening your heart, even a little, can make a big difference. Think about it. Every time you talk to someone, you're sending a signal to your body that it's still needed, that life is still worth living. These moments don't just make you feel better in the moment. They build a solid foundation for long-term health. Studies show that people who maintain social connections tend to live longer, healthier, and happier lives. They're less likely to be depressed, have fewer heart problems, and are more resilient to illness. So if you find yourself drifting apart, stop for a moment. Ask yourself, who can I call today, or what activities can I do to meet other people? These small actions could be the key to a longer, richer life. Social isolation is a silent danger, but it is not insurmountable. You have the power to change your story. With just one conversation, one smile, one shared moment, you are building a protective shield around your life. Don't let loneliness be your only companion. Reach out, even just a little, and you will see the world respond. Second characteristic, lack of exercise. Another danger, often overlooked, is lurking right in front of us. Lack of movement. Every time an older person spends a large part of their day sitting, their body begins to suffer silently. The lack of movement, while seemingly harmless at first, gradually destroys the body's ability to recover, react, and endure. Muscles weaken, joints become stiff, blood circulation slows. In a short time, walking a short distance can feel like climbing a mountain. Many older people say they are just resting when they are not moving. But what the body is getting is a different message that you are giving up. Imagine someone like 84-year-old Jean. She used to go for a walk every morning, enjoying the fresh air and the life of her neighborhood. But one day, she felt a little tired and decided to skip that walk. A day became a week, then a month. Soon, her stamina was significantly reduced. Just standing up to cook left her exhausted. Sadly, she had no serious medical condition. Her problem was simply a lack of exercise. Her doctor shared a startling truth. More seniors die from the consequences of a sedentary lifestyle than from heart attacks or strokes. This may seem unbelievable, but it is true. The human body is designed to move. When it is not used, it begins to weaken, slowly but surely. Lack of exercise is dangerous because it affects every aspect of your health. When muscles are not used, they lose strength, making you more susceptible to falls. One of the leading causes of serious injuries in older adults. When joints are not moving, they become stiff and painful, reducing your ability to move freely. Slowed blood circulation can lead to heart problems, high blood pressure, or even blood clots. All of these changes happen quietly, without obvious symptoms until a serious problem arises. And by then, the body has lost the ability to fight back that it once had. But here's the good news. Exercise doesn't have to be a chore. You don't have to run a marathon or lift heavy weights to stay healthy. Simple, regular movements can make a difference. Try standing up and stretching, walking around the block, or doing some arm swings while watching TV. Each of these small actions sends a message to your body. I'm still here. I still need you. Stay strong. These movements keep your muscles active, your joints flexible, and your blood flowing. They remind your body that it still has a purpose, that it's still needed. Think of it like maintaining a machine. If you let a car sit for too long, it starts to break down. The engine rusts, the tires go flat, the battery dies. The same goes for your body. If you don't use it, it loses its ability to run smoothly. But with just a little maintenance every day, a few steps, a few stretches, you can keep your machine running well for years to come. Studies show that people who stay moderately active, even in their 70s and 80s, have a significantly lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and falls. They also feel more energetic, sleep better, and enjoy life more. If you find yourself sitting too much, don't worry. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small, aim to stand up every hour. Walk to the mailbox instead of asking someone else to. Take a gentle yoga class or just stretch every morning. Every step you take is a gift to yourself, a way to tell your body that you still care, that you still want to live a full life. Don't let your body think you've given up. Get up, move, and show it that you still have a lot to live for. When we think about living long and well, we often focus on the obvious things like diet, exercise, or medication. But sometimes the biggest determinants are the little details, the daily habits, the silent choices that shape how we age. In this next section, we'll explore 3 remaining dangerous traits that put older adults at risk of dying earlier, along with simple but effective ways to avoid them. These traits aren't big, scary threats. They're subtle signs, habits that if left unchecked can silently shorten your life. But when you recognize them, you have the power to change, to live not just longer, but more fully. Let's continue this journey together, with the hope that each piece of information you receive will be a tool to protect your own health and happiness. Third characteristic, emotional isolation. One of the biggest but most overlooked dangers to longevity in older adults is emotional isolation. It's not just about being alone. Emotional isolation is when you feel lonely, even when you're surrounded by others. After age 70, many people begin to quietly withdraw from social relationships. They may lose touch with friends, stop trying to connect with family, or stop seeking out shared moments. Gradually, this silence settles in. It's more than just the absence of voices or laughter. It's a deeper void, a sense of disconnection from the world. And it doesn't just affect mood, it has a cascade of serious health consequences. Studies show that chronic loneliness can increase your risk of death by nearly 30%. That's not a small number, it's a clear warning sign from your body's stress response system. When you feel emotionally isolated, your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, are consistently high. Your sleep quality suffers. Your immune system weakens. More importantly, you can lose the motivation to take care of yourself. You stop eating right, stop exercising, and over time, you give up on trying to stay healthy. Think of Walter, a 79-year-old man who lost his wife. After the pain of the loss, he started avoiding phone calls. He said it was easier not to answer the phone. But within a year, he barely ate, rarely moved, and stopped attending even the smallest family gatherings. It wasn't just sadness about losing his wife. It was a profound disconnection from life. In contrast, older adults who maintain emotional connections, whether by talking to loved ones, attending social events, volunteering, or even just chatting with a clerk at the store, tend to have better mental health. They have sharper memories, more stable moods, and live longer. Emotional connection acts like medicine. It brings balance to the mind, gives structure to your day, and reminds you that life is still meaningful. For example, a person may feel better just by calling their children every week, or joining a local book club. These moments don't have to be big. They just need to be enough to make you feel like you're still a part of the world. If you find yourself withdrawing from others, stop. Ask yourself, what is this withdrawal really taking away from me? Emotional isolation doesn't just make you feel bad. It robs you of vitality, resilience, and precious time. But the good news is that you can change. You don't have to be the most outgoing person in the room. Just one small act, calling an old friend, attending a family gathering, or even smiling at a stranger, can make a difference. Every time you connect, you're sending a signal to your body that it's needed, that you're alive, and that you have something to share. Emotional isolation is dangerous because it works in silence. You may not realize you're in it until it's already done damage, but you have the power to break the cycle. Look for moments of connection, no matter how small. It could be a quick chat with a neighbor, a hug with a grandchild, or a hello from the delivery person. These moments don't just make you feel better. They build a foundation for long-term health. When you keep your heart open, you protect not only your mind, but your body. Remember, connection isn't just a gift you give to others. It's a gift you give to yourself, a way to keep the spark of life burning. Fourth characteristic, irregular sleeping habits. Another common trait among older adults at risk of early decline is erratic sleep patterns. It's not just a few late nights or occasional insomnia. It's a chronic disruption of sleep schedules. Going to bed at different times each night, waking up multiple times during the night, or spending too much time in front of a screen before trying to fall asleep. After age 70, the body becomes more sensitive to these changes. The circadian rhythm, the system that regulates wakefulness and sleepiness, isn't as flexible as it used to be. When you disrupt your circadian rhythm too often, everything from your metabolism to your mood to your heart health begins to suffer. Long-term studies show that older adults who have irregular sleep patterns are more likely to suffer from memory loss, falls, depression, and even early morning heart attacks. These effects don't show up right away. They build up silently until the body can no longer cope. Consider Eleanor, a 76-year-old woman who used to watch television until 2 or 3 a.m. She napped during the day to catch up, and drank coffee in the late afternoon to stay awake. As a result, her circadian rhythm was completely disrupted. Her doctor noticed that her blood pressure fluctuated, her ability to concentrate was waning, and her energy levels were erratic. But when she started following a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, and turning off screens an hour before bed, her body began to recover. Her mornings became clearer, her mood improved, and her risk of sudden health problems dropped dramatically. Good sleep is not a luxury at this age. It is a form of healing. When you sleep, your body repairs the damage of the day, consolidates memories, and balances hormones. If this healing process is interrupted night after night, the body begins to fail. Problems like high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or even stroke can occur without warning. What's worrying is that many seniors don't realize that their sleep is a problem. They may think staying up late or napping during the day is normal, but their body is sending them a warning signal, a red flag that it needs better care. Fortunately, improving your sleep isn't complicated. Start by setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. Avoid screens like your phone, TV, or tablet for at least an hour before bed, as the blue light from them can disrupt your circadian rhythm. Instead, try reading a book, listening to soft music, or doing some relaxing exercises. These small changes can help your body get back into its natural rhythm, leading to deeper, more restorative sleep. And when you sleep better, you'll feel more energized, mentally sharp, and physically healthier. If you find your sleep patterns are erratic, take it as a reminder from your body. Don't ignore it. Take the time to establish a consistent sleep routine. Your body will thank you with fresh mornings, more energetic days, and a longer life. Sleep is more than just a time to rest. It's the foundation of your health, an essential part of keeping you strong and ready to face each day. The fifth characteristic, emotional withdrawal. Another sign, often seen in older adults who die earlier than expected, is emotional withdrawal. This isn't about enjoying quiet or spending time alone. Many people are quiet, introverted, and still perfectly healthy. The emotional withdrawal we're talking about is when a person begins to disconnect from meaningful emotional interactions. They stop initiating conversations, avoid family gatherings, or become indifferent to events that used to bring them joy. Over time, this withdrawal creates a negative spiral. Lack of interaction leads to less mental stimulation, which in turn fosters feelings of loneliness and even despair. The body senses this silence. Hormonal responses change. The immune system weakens. The mind begins to shut down from lack of connection. Think of Richard, an 80-year-old man who lost his wife. He gradually stopped communicating with his children. He stopped answering the phone, missed birthdays, and rarely left the house. Within a year, his health was in serious decline, not because of any specific disease, but because of the quiet erosion of his will to live. His doctors said he was physically capable of living longer, but emotionally, he had begun to give up. In contrast, consider Thomas, a 78-year-old man, also a widower. Despite the loss of his spouse, he still texts his grandchildren, leads a local book club, and teaches young neighbors carpentry. His emotional life is rich, fulfilling, and connected. He is not always happy, but he is always engaged. The difference between these two men is not their circumstances. It is their choices. The choice to stay involved, to care, to find meaning in each day. Emotional withdrawal is dangerous because it dims the light of life. When you stop interacting, you stop receiving the mental stimulation that nourishes your mind and body. You may not notice it right away, but over time your body begins to react as if it has no reason to continue. Your immune system weakens, your energy decreases, and your will to live, which was once strong, slowly fades. But you can break this cycle. You don't have to be a chatterbox or a constant bell. Just keep your heart open, even if just a little. Call a loved one. Participate in an activity you used to love, or just listen to someone else's story. These moments remind you that you still have value, that your life still matters. Emotional engagement isn't about being happy all the time. It's about choosing to stay, choosing to engage, even when life gets tough. Every time you do this, you're telling your body and mind that you're still here, that you still want to keep going, and your body will respond by keeping you stronger, healthier, and more alive. Don't let emotional withdrawal be the switch that dims your light. Keep it burning day by day, with small but meaningful actions. When we think about living a long, meaningful life, we often get caught up in the big stuff, the perfect diet, the strict exercise routine, the expensive medications. But as we've seen, the things that really make a difference are often much smaller. They're the daily habits, the quiet choices, the small changes in how you look at life. The 5 risk factors we've discussed: social isolation, lack of exercise, emotional isolation, irregular sleep patterns, and emotional withdrawal, aren't loud alarm bells. They're little signals, whispers from your body and mind that tell you it's time to pay attention. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself, don't panic. Awareness is a gift. It gives you the opportunity to change, to reconnect, to choose a different path. You don't have to do it all at once. Just one small step, taking a few steps around the block, calling a friend, going to bed on time, or smiling at a stranger, can make a big difference. Aging isn't just about counting years on a calendar. It's about staying connected to your purpose, to the people around you, and to your own life force. Every day is a new opportunity to keep the flame of life burning. No matter what stage of life you are in, you have the power to shape your future. Get up, get connected, and live it to the fullest. Your life is precious, and every moment you choose to engage with is a gift you give yourself. Thank you for taking the time to learn about these traits. We hope you take these ideas with you and apply them to your life. Share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it. Your thoughts matter, and they inspire us to keep going. Let's continue this journey, one step at a time, and let each day be an affirmation that you are still here, still strong, and still alive.